research channel. So today's topic is, it's not the lightest topic to get into, obviously, but it's an important one. And I think what we're when you kind of start getting into these types of topics, it can be taxing. It could be a little difficult to take and process. And it depends also, I think, on your the pace that you're learning as well. That has a big part in it. And I think if you are kind of, especially when you're going through the things that are happening to children, and the satanic ritual abuse, the sacrifices, all the really nasty stuff, that can be difficult. Also, figuring out that almost everything you were taught is a lie is another, it's not easy for people. And so what happens is, occasionally, I've never been personally suicidal. I've been really down and depressed, anxious sometimes when learning this stuff. I'm pretty much past all that. That was a few years back, but there was also some personal things going on in my life, so it was kind of like everything collided at once. I had a family member who was terminally ill, so it was just a really crazy time for all of that to hit me at the same time when you're learning about some of the dark truths about this world and how it functions. So I've been through it. I wasn't suicidal, but I had deep depression, had some anxiety, some panic attacks. And so when I receive messages or comments from people that are going through this, it's understandable. I can completely relate. And everyone processes how do I put that? Yeah. Processes the information differently. You know what I'm saying? And we've got to have, empathy and compassion and love for people that are going through this, because it's a tough road. So when someone is suicidal and they, this has happened about 5 times, 6 times, something like that, where a lot of people point blank tell me that, they just want to kill themselves, or they are at the point where, they're considering doing something. Anytime I've gotten those messages, I will always reach out to the person, but I think it's important that we kind of have this talk, because we're a small little community, and we should be there and help each other, but we should also be giving resources of where professionals can step in if necessary. The person has to make the phone call. They have to, to maybe like a suicide hotline, or their doctor, or both, or 911, or whatever your emergency line is in the country that you live in. And I just want to make sure, as I put in the description and in the scrolling ticker below, it's not just the phone numbers that you can call for suicide, the suicide hotline, so to say, talk hotline. And then it's also, this is not any medical advice at all. You should always consult a professional who is involved in this stuff and who can really help you. If you're really at a point in your life where things are getting that dark. And So I just wanted to kind of go over some of the signs to look for. Let me just pull this up here. Oop. Okay. And, it's pretty common sense stuff that a lot of us are familiar with. But at the same time, sometimes if you're in the thick of things, it might not necessarily click that this is going on in your life, Alright, so I think, this is a big part of it. You got isolating yourself. These are symptoms, things to look out for. And if you're in kind of the pits and having a rough time, these are things that could end up, coming across in you. So isolating yourself from your loved ones, feeling hopeless or trapped, talking about death or suicide, giving away possessions, an increase in substance use or misuse, increased mood swings, anger, rage, and or irritability, engaging in risk-taking behavior like using drugs or having unprotected sex, accessing the means to kill yourself such as medication, drugs, or a firearm, acting as if you're saying goodbye to people, feeling extremely anxious, panic attacks, things like that. If you think a loved one is thinking about or planning suicide, ask. It's a myth that you'll give another person the idea to kill him or herself. Asking shows that you're concerned and that you care about the person. And so all I'm kind of asking too, like in our small community that we have, is if you do see those types of comments in my video or other people's channels in their videos, maybe just leave a comment and just check in and say hi and say, hey, I'm here. I just wanted to let you know if you want to talk, we can talk further in the comment section. Pretty much with me, every time I've run across this, I always reach out to people. I reach out to so many people anyways. I just like hearing everyone's different journey on how they got to where they are and what they're thinking about things. So I speak with a lot of different people. But I think it's, important that we support each other if we see one of our fellow brothers and sisters in pain and you see the warning signs. So I just really, because I've run across this, I think it's important that some of you be aware that this is something you'll see occasionally in in communities like ours where it's the person's having a rough go at it, and a lot of times it's not just related to the information they're learning, but it's there's obviously other things going on in their lives to cause this. So it's kind of like a perfect storm of learning material that is dark sometimes, and also piling on the already existing issues in their personal life, whatever those may be. Be aware that passive suicidal ideation, wishing that you could die in your sleep or in an accident rather than by your own hands, is not necessarily any less serious than active suicidal ideation. It can quickly turn active, and it most certainly has a blend of active and passive components. If your loved one admits that they are thinking about suicide, make sure they are safe. Be there for them if and when they need you. If the situation is serious, you may need to involve your loved one's doctor or mental health professional, or perhaps call the suicide hotline for advice or help. Remember, those numbers are at the bottom, scrolling across the screen, and then I also have them in the description tab listed as well. Keep checking on them until you feel certain that they're in a safe state of mind. Causes. Many different factors contribute to suicidal ideation. Often these thoughts strike when you're feeling hopeless and out of control in your life, and or like it has no meaning or purpose. These feelings may be due to circumstances like relationship problems, trauma, substance abuse, a crisis of some sort, pressure at work, a physical health issue, or financial difficulties. Having any mental health disorder such as depression, bipolar, PTSD, or anxiety can also contribute. There are a variety of risk factors for suicidal ideation and suicide, including having attempted suicide in the past, having a mental health disorder, feeling hopeless, isolated, and or lonely, not being married, being gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, having served in the military, having a chronic physical illness like cancer, diabetes, or terminal disease, having chronic pain, having a traumatic brain injury, having a family history of suicide, having a drug or alcohol use disorder, having experienced childhood abuse or trauma, living in a rural area, having access to firearms. Here are some of the treatments, which, most of us obviously would know. If you have suicidal thoughts, but there is no crisis, your doctor or therapist may recommend psychotherapy, medications, and lifestyle changes that can help reduce the risk of suicide. So you have psychotherapy or talk therapy, family therapy or an education, substance abuse disorder treatment, lifestyle changes including managing stress, improving sleep, eating, and exercise habits, building a solid support network, and making time for hobbies and interests. And of course, there's good old medication. And I'm not really going to elaborate on that, but the point is you got to do what you got to do to for yourself. That's the important thing. It's you really should go the route that you need to go to help yourself in that moment and in the future. So I wanted to also talk about some things which I've brought up a number of times on the channel already, but ways to kind of help regulate your situation if you're in this kind of a funk is to daily affirmations. Those are, again, I'm saying these things because I know they worked in my life and I know they've worked in other people's lives. So a lot of people say, daily affirmations, I got to repeat this, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's great tracks out there. All you got to do is play them for, what I do is when I do use them and when I was really in a funk and using them daily, I would start in the morning, usually play it in my shower when I'm taking a shower for about 20 minutes. Some of these tracks are like an hour long or whatever. You don't need that. Just give yourself at least 20 minutes of, take a shower while you're getting changed. Just you listen to the track and you repeat out what the person is saying. I like, personally, Jason Stevenson's affirmations, and I will bring up his webpage so we can take a look at it, or his YouTube channel. I apologize. Let me just see if I can do this and it's not gonna act up on me. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll pop a link in the chat for you guys. He's a very good guy. I've actually spoke with him a couple times as well. And this works. I'm telling you guys, this works. It is a game changer if you are having problems and trying to get through whatever situation you're going through. So please check him out. He also has other ones as well. As you can see, there's a good one. Here's one for anxiety. I will post this one in there as well for you guys. And there's a good one also for sleep. Now, ignore the timestamp at the end of there. If that pops up, just go ahead and what was I going to say? And just start at the beginning. Sorry, brain fart there. There's also some other good ones too for sleeping. I think it was this one. Like here's one for like self-esteem. I've used all these tracks at some point or suggested them to others. And remember, we gotta try and keep ourselves in as, how do I put it, good a condition as we can, given the world we live in and the information that we sometimes learn. So just remember, these are small little things that you can do in your life to help you, and I swear by them. And it's totally up to you if you want to do it, but it again, I swear by it. The other thing, which I brought up on the channel before as well, is mindfulness meditation. And it's very simple. All you would do is you get your phone and go to the alarm setting, and you can have your alarm repeating itself. So you set it up for every 30-45 minutes to go off. Now, when the alarm goes off, you stop whatever you're doing immediately. You close your eyes, and you take deep breaths in and out, however long you can go. Just make sure it's comfortable for you. You don't have to hold it in like crazy. You just need to make sure that they're comfortable, consistent breaths in and out. And all you would do is do that for like a minute, 2 minutes, whatever you want to do, and then you will have the alarm, like I said, set up in the settings to go off again every 30 to 45 minutes, whichever you prefer. Now, I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, if you do those two things, remember, this is not medical advice. This is just advice on methods that I used that helped me. And remember, you gotta go and consult your own doctor or health professionals if you get to this point, because they are the ones who have the expertise. And I just have to say that disclaimer from time to time, so please understand that. And again, you got the affirmations in the morning, early on. Then you set your mindfulness alarm every 30-45 minutes. Keep going throughout the entire day until you go to sleep. Deactivate it when you go to sleep. When you get up in the morning, reactivate it. Rinse and repeat. It is. I cannot tell you. I think it really was I was in a dark place, and when I implemented these two things into my life, they were a game changer for me. I started feeling better in about 3-4 days, and then in about 2 or 3 weeks, about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe, probably between. You start to see noticeable differences, a few weeks in, and then a real, total kind of major progression in the 3rd and 4th week. But you'll start getting results in as early as 3 or 4 days. Now, with affirmations, you might listen to them and say, they're corny, or they're this or they're that. Well, find whatever track works for you. Jason Stevenson is just who I used. I highly recommend him. But, again, you might find somebody else out there that has a script that they put out that is more attuned to your liking. So, again, go with your intuition. Go with your gut. Go with what you feel is comfortable for you, because then it makes it easier. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you just give it a try, if you're in a dark space right now and you're having issues, I promise you, these are just something in the arsenal that can help. It might not be the solution for everybody, but it's something I know has helped me, and I spoke to a number of other people who have the same type of routine and implemented it in their lives and are doing better. There is someone in a Discord that I talked to, and he was having, panic attacks up until a few weeks ago. So he had messaged me and asked me what I had suggested, and I gave him this routine. I talked to him on voice for a few minutes, and I gave him the routine, and he had started it, I think, the next day, and then he messaged me, I think it was about 4 or 5 days ago, and he said he hasn't had one since. I mean, he was, considering going to the hospital and things like that. He didn't go because he found some assistance with that kind of routine. Again, it's not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I am not a mental health professional in any kind. These are just different tools in your arsenal to use and apply in your life to make you a little happier or better. Because either way they will help in some form. I promise you. And then I kind of suggest, like, after you're doing, a lot of people have trouble with sit-down meditation. So what's great about getting into the affirmations and particularly the mindfulness is that it starts to get you used to being able to meditate. Even though it's a minute or two, you would think, how can you meditate in a minute or two? It's the breathing, you're going to the breath. We're in a world of technology and everything's going, and all you got to do is take that 1 or 2 minutes and you will see incredible results, which may end up leading you into wanting to try sit-down meditation again. There's also a mindfulness type meditation, like walking meditation, which I did. Actually, I learned it at a Zen Buddhist monastery that I was at. And basically what you do is, you maybe get like a walking stick. You don't need one, but it's nice to have one because it's a way for you to have the stick and you kind of be in unison together along with your steps. So you would basically, how we walk normally, everyone's running around and going at their normal pace of walking, or walking fast. So all you would really do is say you go to a trail, or you go to your street sidewalk, whatever it may be, your yard, backyard, whatever it is. Just find a place that's good for you, and you have some room. So you would basically go to the spot, you'd stand. You do the same thing with the mindfulness breathing, and you stand for about 1 to 2 minutes doing the same thing that was with the mindfulness alarm program that I mentioned. Doing the breathing in and out, comfortable breaths. Then you open your eyes and you start taking steps with your breathing. You're not making big steps. These are very you're flowing the step slowly in conjunction with your breath and the stick if you have one. You don't need one, but it's just, for me, it was, if I had a better kind of connection, I guess is the best way to say. Like, I felt like it made it much better because I tried it with and without using a walking stick. And so again, what you're doing is you're getting to your location. You're doing your breathing for a couple minutes just to get you going, with your eyes closed. After a couple minutes, then you start with your first breath in again, and then you put your right foot forward. And then, actually, you go right foot, and then slowly with your left foot breathing out, and then you just do that. And you're starting to slow your pace down. You're slowing your pace down to get yourself, how do I put it? Yeah, you get mindful. You know what I'm saying? It's a different form of meditation. You have to just take your time. Remember, we're not in a rush with these things, but it's a great alternative to people that have trouble with sit-down meditation, because there are other methods of meditation. These two that I brought up today are great examples that anyone can do who feels that they have an issue with sit-down meditation. And what's great is you will probably get to the point after implementing all of this and working with it where you're going to probably naturally start enjoying sit-down meditation. So let me just say this. If you have an issue with sit-down meditation, try these things for about 3 to 4 weeks, okay? If at a minimum you do the affirmations, you do the mindfulness alarm clock all day, all night until you go to bed, every 30 to 45 minutes for 1 to 2 minutes. Then you go about your day and continue, rinse and repeat. Then if you can, also, you like to walk, you like to hike, you like to be outside, whatever you got to do. Heck, you can even do it in your home. I mean, it's probably a little, it's not as enjoyable, but I mean, I guess if you got a bigger house, you can do it. But if you can, try to get outside. I know it's cold a lot of places, it's winter, so it might not necessarily be ideal. So then you do you implement the walking meditation. You don't have to do it every day, but do it as often as you can. Then after about 3-4 weeks, then having all this in place, then try the sit down meditation. Try, don't go crazy. You don't have to meditate 3, 4, 5 times a day. You don't. If you want, start it off with one session a day. 20, 30 minutes. Heck, 10, 20 minutes, whatever you got to do, whatever you're comfortable with. And then what you'll end up finding is that you'll want to do it more because you are more kind of balanced and centered as a result of using all of those things that I've talked about. And again, this is how I kind of got through a dark period. With things, again, my personal life, with the family member being terminally ill, and then also coming into really, really dark information that was that I've been discovering at the time, So I really hope that this was helpful. And what I'm going to do is just kind of scroll up for the chat. I'm sorry I didn't really say hi to anyone or read your comments, but now's that time, and I'm looking forward to conversing with you. I will also throw up the phone line. If anyone wants to call in, let me just get that loaded. So if anyone wants to call in, you're more than welcome. Just give me just a couple minutes to scroll through the chat, because I do want to just say hi to everyone. And then so it's like 2:36 right now, so maybe give me till 2:45, like about 8 or 9 minutes until you call, and then we can have a chat. So let me just pop that on. So that's good to go. Let me get the phone number up if I could find it. Okay, nope, there we go. Come on. Okay, where's the other one? Come on. Alright, I think. There we go. Okay, so the phone number, top left, that's anyone in the U.S. who has a U.S.-based phone number. That's a free number you can reach at and call into the show. And so I'm just going to scroll up. Benton J. Yeah, see? Nice to see you. Night Sky, greetings from London. Great to see you, sister. Exposing Powerful Lies live stream. Great to see you, brother. Welcome. Death by Chocolate, good morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. The Earth says hello. Melissa West, always great to see you as well. 13th Monkey, welcome. Nice to have you with us. Red Axon John or Cacti? I don't know. Hello, hi. Sorry for butchering your name. Let's see. Benton says, "Well, I'm drunk, so that helps." Well, yeah. Learning. You gotta be careful though, because they don't call them spirits for a reason. So, or they do call them. I'm sorry, they do call them spirits for a reason. But nothing wrong with knocking back some beers or mixed drinks. Let's see. Out on the wire, a perfect storm. Yeah, perfect storm indeed. 13th Monkey. Have had some past experiences. I'll say one thing about psychiatry in general. They're there to try and make you function in a thoroughly dysfunctional world. Yeah, in this stream, I wouldn't really want to elaborate on that. I hope you guys can understand, just based on this is put out there just in case someone really needs to is in a really dark spot. So I want to make sure as much as I agree with everything, it's I don't really want to elaborate with stuff that we've talked about in the past. We can do that on another stream though, for sure. And everyone is welcome to call in and speak their mind and opinion on whatever they like, because that's a different story. But I'm trying to keep it on my end more along the way the disclaimer has to be. This is for legal reasons. Let's see. Cliff says, "I have lost my will to live. I am not suicidal, just indifferent to humanity, and like there is nothing left for me to do here. People are materialistic and insipid or ignorant." Okay. Yeah, Cliff, I completely agree with a lot of that. It's like I'm not suicidal either at all. I'm just like kind of at the point in my life where it's like, okay, I've lived this experience. I've figured out, the majority of how the game works, and I'm just done. Like, so when the time, comes, I will embrace it fully, and I'm ready. I'm ready. But that doesn't mean that we should not allow things to happen organically and still try to find the good that is going on out there and use that. Another thing I wanted to add about this, everything that I just discussed, is the importance of nature. I mean, I can't tell you how important it is to get out there and do some walking. Find some local trails in the area and try to do that multiple times a week, even if it's cold. Wrap yourself up, get out there, and even if however long or short a walk you take, as long as you get out there, you breathe that fresh air, you get it. There's something about nature that is very healing and inspiring for us to get involved with. So, Dave, if you don't mind, I will call you back, brother. Just give me a few minutes just to go through the rest of the chat. I will call you back. Just give me about like 5 minutes, okay? I just wanted to kind of go through and see what some people were saying, and try and support anyone that we all need to support each other, and okay. Sorry, Dave. Just give me a minute, brother. I promise I will call you back. Just give me about 5 to 8 minutes tomorrow. Okay, so Junko says, "What about people who cry suicidal wolf, though? I notice some people fake being suicidal for all the attention they got." Yeah, brother. I mean, that's just a part of life, right? I mean, there are people that do that. I mean, and that's despicable. But I really don't get the sense of that really going on with the people that I talk. Again, like just because they have suicidal thoughts or kind of statements, it's just often it's a cry for help and wanting to connect with someone on some level so they can get some comfort. And that's what I'm trying to say about, like, if you guys are in my videos and you see the comment section, anyone saying stuff like that, because it does happen. It's happened a number of times. So there's a difference between kind of being done with everything here and waiting to get out of your prison sentence, so to say. But and there's a difference between really taking the action or portraying that, at least. I don't think that's really the case with the people I've talked to. I don't see that at all, because all of them I've spoke with all of them on the phone multiple times, and I just don't see that. But it is something that does happen. So we really can't discount any comment that says that, because we have to take them seriously. So all I ask is, you see a comment like that in my videos, just leave a quick message and just say, hey, I'm here and I care, and I want you to know that, if you want to send me another message, we can continue to talk in the comment area, or you can even perhaps find another way to communicate outside of there if that's something you want to do. No, you don't have to, but just send a quick message, hello, sending my love and support, and just wanted to check in on you, something like that, Okay. Cliff says, yeah, some people just cry wild all the time. Emotional manipulators, narcissists. Being a narcissist isn't even a human trait. So tired of these vampires. Yeah. No, I mean, narcissists, it's hard to imagine them. They just appear to be human. Let's see. Disintegral says, how do you know it's not a human trait? Yeah, no, I mean, it's embedded in these people's structure. I think that when they agree to come here, likely that's I think it could be passed down too, in a way, because if you're involved in that as a child, or maybe even involved with it as a young adult in a relationship, that could potentially have an impact on you too. And there could be something too gene-wise passed down, like some marker there that potentially could open the floodgates for narcissism to fly. Let's say Conscious Light Source and Stacy Mask, welcome both. Nice to have you both. Hi both, nice to have you both. Okay, Stacy says, me too, and I am really enjoying the conversation. Thanks, Stacy. I'm glad you're enjoying the conversation, and anyone out there, I hope you are as well. So what I'm going to do is pause right now and give Dave a call and patch him in, and we will have a talk and see where it goes. We'll see what we're going to talk about. Hopefully this goes through all right. Just waiting for him to pick up. Dave, if you hear me in the video chat here, pick up whenever you're ready, brother. Okay, looks like says Dave isn't online. So, Dave, if you're still listening, brother, feel free to call me. Sorry, I just wanted to get through some of the messages. So I'll continue with the messages for now. And, oh, there's Dave. Okay. Hey, Dave.
Okay, it looks like says Dave isn't online. So,
Hey, Dave,
Dave,
can
if
you
you're
mute the video, please? Dave? Oh, stupid dogs. Alright, yeah, call him back. Hey, Dave. Can you hear me alright, Dave?
Hold on one sec.
Can you mute the video, please?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Thanks,
Let me
brother.
just find my earphone.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, you can't be finding earphone.
No worries. I'm gonna try and patch in your video feed.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Glad you called, brother.
Right.
Anyways, so yeah, I think it's really just important that we talk about these things openly because it's a really tough world out there, especially considering everything that's going on, and it makes it that much harder when you start learning the things that we do, right? It's unfortunate, but that's just kind of the case. You know what, Dave? Let me just check.
Yeah, hold on one sec, mate. I want to tell you something because it's come up on the screen.
Yep.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah, I hear you. Sound good.
Okay, hold on. It says Forever is using the device that could not record or broadcast this call.
What does it say?
It says Forever, that's you, is using a device that could not record or broadcast this call.
Yeah, it's weird because I can't see your video in the streaming software, but I can see you on my thing, which is very odd. I don't understand that at all.
Okay. How about
But that's
this?
all right. I have your
Right.
audio. How does Dave's audio sound, guys? Does it sound all right? Just give us like a. Just gonna check it on my end really quick.
Yeah. I can hear an echo.
One moment, Dave. Just checking on my end.
All right, mate.
How does Dave's audio sound, guys? Does it sound all right? Just give us.
I can hear an echo.
All right. Okay.
How about this?
Yeah, you sound good. You're good. You sound fine. Either way, I got your audio, and I can't get your video patched in for some reason, but you sound fine. So yeah, what's on your mind, brother? Nice to see you.
I just want a general little chat.
Yeah, well, you know, the stuff we were talking about earlier between us, we can always talk about another time. But you want to touch upon any of the on the topic, or what you're doing with your work?
I'm just doing a lot of research into the C5 movement, and what it really is about, and what it is and what it isn't.
Yeah, it's a lot of garbage, bro. I figured that out a couple of years ago, but it's way too overcomplicated. You know, there's a lot of people doing some great stuff there and putting out some amazing footage.
Yeah, but they just don't realize. They just don't realize the problem with CE5 that I do. There's something called the 7 steps of enlightenment, and what Greer's doing is he's bypassing the other 6 to get to what's called cosmic consciousness, which is CE5. And unless you understand the steps behind it, it's pointless doing the research.
Yeah, Dave, you want to tell people what CE5 are for the people that aren't familiar with it?
CE5 is human initiated contact. Now it says with extraterrestrials. I've been doing it long enough to know the difference. Yeah, these aren't extraterrestrials.
No, they're
this
not.
is something to do with. It's something to do with more to do with us and what's called constructive interference within the unified field. The unified field is where everything emerges from this field. Everything that has consciousness emerges from this field. Yeah. So to understand that constructive interference is CE5, we're not making. See, when Greer says let's make mass contact, he means with each other. He doesn't mean with ET. And the thing is, it's like kind of like the Bible. I'm going to harp on a little bit if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I wonder if
That's all right. Listen, And look, if the Bible said become one, then multiply, it would make a lot of fucking sense. But it doesn't. We're all, at the moment, we're like a collective group because of COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
What we need
basically,
to do,
I'm sorry.
what we need to do is realise that you got to make personal choices in this situation. Are you going to get the vaccine or are you not? I mean, I've already seen someone on another YouTube channel where they're possibly going to force American people to take the vaccine, which I personally think is a really bad fucking idea.
Okay, I hate to interrupt you, Dave, but we got to be really careful with this topic. They are axing channels left and right about it, so let's
let's just stay off that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen about 3 channels that I know this week get terminated, but they were, you know, we're just talking about what's in the news anyways, but they're.
So I'm not a mental health worker. I'm nothing like that. It's just my personal opinion. Hey, FC, what have you done?
Yeah. Can you see it all right?
Hold on, I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna restart Skype. Sorry about this, guys. I want to patch in Dave's video if I can. I'm not sure why it won't let me, but
it's look. Let me call you. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds fine. Yep. Okay.
FC.
Yeah, brother.
What happened? What happened? What the fuck is going on?
Now I don't see your video at all. All right, there you go. Now I see you.
Do you?
All right, so let's get into it, Dave. Yeah, but what do you wanna? What else did you wanna?
Let's just agree to stay off that subject, all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're both
okay, I finally got your video up. Yeah.
Okay, so you can see me.
Yep.
Okay, what am I doing right now?
One finger up. We got your
sound
up.
cool.
Yep.
Cool. I apologise about my hair, but as you
you're
can see,
fine, brother. You're fine.
We're in a national situation here because of the thing that's keeping us indoors. And the thing is, what the? Yeah, that looks cool. It's a bit delayed. Who cares anyway?
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't go out and get my hair cut because everything's closed. The only thing that are open is the supermarkets, and that's literally it. So I apologise for my hair being.
You
a bit
look
messy.
Fine, brother.
I see you were talking about meditation. People seem to have a problem with meditation.
Some people
Maybe
do.
I could give
some people do. Yeah.
Seriously, some people have a problem. See,
they say, they can't quiet their mind enough, or they can't. A lot of people say, I can't do it. I can't concentrate. I can't stop the chatter. You know, that's a common thing. So sometimes they try, but don't really kind of stick with it. And so what happens is they end up kind of, giving up and and not going back to it. So I was trying to just give some of my methods for ways that might help get someone kind of into it easier by using others. So
yeah, I was going to give you a suggestion here, right?
Yeah, please do.
This is the bind about meditation. There's a little bind about meditation which really bugs me. The first thing you have to do in meditation is concentrate on your breathing till you're no longer concentrating on your breathing. Just like automatically right now, we're breathing without knowing it.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think that's great. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, so
when
breathing. You concentrate on your breathing, you breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. That's all you have to do meditation, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. But when you get into that silent mind, just let go. That's all you have to do is let go. It sounds easy for someone like a directed meditator for me to say, but yeah, I'm not sure about what mindfulness is because I've been, as you know, because we did the interview on your channel, basically, I've been doing meditation for most of my life. So for me, it's one of them things. It's easier for me to do, but I have found people that can reach the silent mind, but then they just go, well, what's the point? And at that point, because I'm not a meditation teacher, I can't then go, well, this is what you need to do. So.
Yeah, no, it's some people it's easy. Some people it takes a little bit of trying, and I think that's kind of the case anyways when you're first starting it. But what I'm trying to talk about is not like, don't let yourself get discouraged. Don't get discouraged if you feel don't tell yourself you can't do it, this and that. Try and work around it and ease your way into it if it's not if you're just having issues with it. Some people are fine, but I've run across many saying it can be difficult. So that's why I brought up mindfulness and walking meditation, mindfulness walking. They are really great ways to kind of give yourself a jump start if you have a problem with sit down meditation. That's all. So
have you ever
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried visual meditation?
Oh yeah, where you're trying to. Well, yeah, of course. Then sometimes you can, especially when I'm kind of doing involving that, like with directed meditation, you're visualizing a certain thing, and sometimes it it actually appears, like in the sky or something like that, or like even like clouds. You can do that with clouds where you can visualize, let's just say, like a cat, and then maybe 5-10 minutes later, a cloud might kind of form itself to resemble a cat or something like a cat,
Yeah, man. So how's Florida's weather right now? What's it like?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's like a beautiful day here. It's probably about 75, 80 degrees and sunny. Not too many clouds out. Beautiful. So what was I going to say? So with CE5, you want to like tell people for those that aren't aware, basically what you do to, like what else is it about, so people kind of understand.
Okay, CE5 is a way of making contact with beings that seem to be in another dimension. On my channel, I've got many a being called Entity, and you can hear me meditating, and it shifts in and out, proving to me that it's not extraterrestrial, it's interdimensional.
Mm-hmm.
We're making contact. CE5 allows us to make contact with, I believe, interdimensional and dimensional beings, because I can't see how, even through the communication of non-locality, how we're supposed to contact beings that are 40,000 light years from here. It just it doesn't make sense.
No.
Although the human brain has. I've lost your picture, FC. Where you gone?
Yeah, I was having a little bit of issues with buffering, so I sometimes I do that. So if you see my video go, as long as you hear me, it's fine.
Still there. That's
yep.
Cool. And
I'm gonna pop your channel in the chat too.
All right, Sam. Thanks, FC. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And always check out Forever Conscious Research channel. Check out his other 2 channels, his backup channels, because one day we may need them.
Yeah, I hope not, but yeah.
I've just realised how to do it. The other thing about CE5, the good thing that comes out of CE5 is meditation, and it does help you to, in these dark times, find some way of, walking that path of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that means God to someone or something else to others, that's up to them to decide. For me, my research consists of orbs, which I believe is conscious light, and I'll explain that. Conscious light as in you're having cosmic consciousness with a being that doesn't have a form. See, most people think that ETs have body of being. Most ETs reportedly are orbs, and for me that's conscious light. So it's a light of consciousness coming from another place, nearer the Earth, not light years away. It just seems that, because there's so many things that I've done in my research to try and prove you can only track certain things on radar. When you're doing CE5, I have never ever been able to find radar data to prove, apart from one which is called craft landing. That's different. There's a difference there. But I've never been able to get ATC data confirming that there was anything there. So if I can see it and record it, there's something there. But that does not necessarily mean that it's extraterrestrial. It could be, like, we only see 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. For all we know, these beings could be in another dimension, just past ours.
It could also be that they're just actually native to Earth too. They could be residents of the Earth, and that they're just basically, they're in a different visual spectrum zone, and we can't necessarily always see that. So, but they are capable of coming in and out of our visual field. It could be, it could be a combination of the both. Could be earthbound, it could be interdimensional.
Most things that seem to interact with me, I would agree with FC here and say that they are interdimensional. So how they get here, point is they're already here. As Bob Bigelow once said, he said, you don't have to go anywhere. They're right here. Right under people's noses. Yeah. And the thing is, if we don't have to go anywhere, all we have to do is become one with ourselves and nature. That does not mean become one with everybody on the planet, because I just can't see that happening. Can't see that happening at all.
Nope.
It's been tried so many times. But the other thing I wanted to point out is C5, directed meditation, mission Rama, and heist are all the same thing. Yep. It's constructive interference within the unified field. It's the same as TM, transcendental meditation. All you're doing is transcending your body. Your body is bound to space and time. So once you transcend space and time, you're going to interact with things that you didn't think were ever possible. And that's what my channel is about. I'm doing research into the unified field at the moment.
Yeah,
I do my directed meditation, because that's what people. Yeah, I went a bit off the deep end for a while, I'll be honest.
It's all right. That's okay. It happens. That's kind of like was the point of. I'm popping up some of your videos right now, just to play them in the background while we're talking. These are some of Dave's captures. I'll just kind of
check out best encounters and hit play.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You got the playlist. Yeah. So yeah. What? How long you been doing this, Dave? Why don't you tell people a little more about yourself?
Say that again.
I said I know I've interviewed you. We've had a number of conversations, obviously, and we're friends. But like for the people that aren't aware of it, like how long you've been doing this kind of work?
Oh, okay. I've been doing this sort of meditation and this kind of stuff for. Hold on, wait a minute. It says I got 43 subscribers. Woo! Got a new subscriber. Whoever subscribed, thank you. Yeah, check that out. That's mental.
That's a great one.
Check this is. But check this. Yeah, see the red lights coming to the side of it. That's a car behind me, proving that this ship must be using some form of gravity propulsion. But the problem I have with that is, if there is such a thing as gravity waves or more gravity propulsion systems, won't we be able to detect that?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I really don't think they have anything to do with gravity, or gravity propulsion, or anything like that. I think these are like literally anomalies that they're living beings that can come in and out of our world. They're not like, so we can't really equate them to like a craft like thing. It's more it's like
they can manifest themselves into any shape, form, and that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, manifest and and shapeshift and change and while you're watching them. I mean, I've seen all sorts of really weird stuff where like for instance what we're showing right here, excuse me, with the
this is a dimensional being. If you watch it shift in and out of our space time.
Yeah, these things are likely they're likely alive.
See? There you go. Shifted. So I have also got a playlist called Like-Minded People, and you will find some of Forever Consciousness's things there. I mean, your one is pretty amazing, mate. You've got two things that come towards the plane and then cross each other. One comes back up, and for the life of me, I'm going to just ask you, what kind of plane were you filming? Because that plane just seems to hover in midair.
I see the plane anomalies. I mean, I cannot tell you. I have got so much footage of that type of stuff. It's like overwhelming because I don't even. And it's a weird topic, Dave, because I like to put out like the best stuff I can, and a lot of people, it's hard for some of them to. I don't want to like lose people on all the other important stuff that I put out for when I talk about something like fake planes or fake helicopters or fake, things like that, because they literally are these things. They manifest out of nowhere in the form of a plane or like a helicopter. They usually have like an orb type component or flashing movement to them that is not a normal plane. The planes also do not have windows. There's no windows. There's no tail number most of the time. I've seen even these things where they mimic the freaking logos of the airlines, which is even just batshit to me. But they'll have no windows, they'll have no tail number, and they never, ever appear on radar. I have constantly looking at the radar tracker, and they never appear on radar. It's incredible what these things can do. But it's like when I put that type of information out there, I think, I fear I'll lose people a little bit. So I'm trying to.
Too many people will look at it and think it's some sort of conspiracy that you're doing. Yeah. And it isn't your fault. It's because of stuff like Secure Team 10 and all the fakers out there. Yeah. Sometimes you just can't tell what's real or fake anymore. Yeah. And it's just nice to have a channel to come to have a chat with people. And, this channel is one of my favourites. Well, it is my favourite.
Thank you, brother. Yours is one of my favourites too, dude.
I'm just glad you're still around, because I mean, some of the stuff that I'm hearing about channels getting axed for all sorts of reasons at the moment. Yeah. It's just one thing after another, and I just, I'm glad that I've got your Skype number, you've got mine, and we can stay in touch.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, if you guys are listening and you haven't already subscribed to the backup channels, check them out. Subscribe, hit the bell. I do not plan on using them pretty much at all unless I absolutely have to. I am migrating all of my content to a site called UGETube. That's UGETube.com. I go by the same name there, Forever Conscious Research Channel. Check it out. They got great stuff. It was basically Utah gun enthusiasts who were run out of town by YouTube, and a bunch of channels of people started getting axed because they have passion for guns. And so YouTube was clamping down on something like that. So they created this whole format, and it looks like it's going to be pretty good. There's a lot of, there's no algorithm there. You can find out all, sorts of information.
Can you repeat the channel name, please?
It's a website called UGETube.com. UGETube.com. You know what I'll do? I'll actually pop it up on the screen real quick, and then we'll go back to your videos, so people can kind of get an idea as to what it looks like. Hopefully this pops up all right. I think I can get it up. Oh my god.
I kind of wish I could swap the channel. There's a note. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Oh my god, that was
Where'd it go? What the hell? Alright, here we go. UGE2. This should bring it up. So, yeah, I mean, it's, you'll find me no problem. Let's see. Why is it not working now? What the hell?
What the hell are you doing?
There we go. UGTube. Here. So this is the site, basically. Look for the logo at the top. It's got the American flag. So, feel free to check it out. It's a good site. So, but let's continue with Dave's work, because that's why we're here. And so you want to tell people what you do to kind of rein these things in, like
okay. The simplest way of putting it is intention, mantra, meditation. I'll explain that. Intention, to make contact with these beings, you've got to have an intent in your heart and in your brain, and it has to be matching the same. Like my intention is, I wish to make peaceful contact, and that's within my heart and within my mind. Well, my mind's here, that's your brain. Then mantra, I've got my own personal mantras for different things. My mantra is, from a peaceful mind, unconditional love for Mother Earth, and unity of consciousness, that oneness that we all share. And then I'll do different types of meditations depending on the level of contact I want. But as you know, that I had contact when I was 7, 21, 34, 42. I seem to, it's easier for me to make contact because I've had these experiences since I was a young kid.
Yeah. So yeah, you and plus, you again, it's all about that intention too. You're putting your intention out there. It's something you want to do. You want it to be peaceful, loving, and I've also added to my script. I want to make contact with only peaceful, loving beings or entities, whatever we're going to call them. And
let's just call them entities. It makes it easier because that way we're not losing anybody.
Yeah, and basically kind of laying down the law that, nothing negative is allowed to enter my area at all, or anything to do with me or interact with me. And then I'll also say that I only want them to interact with me out of their own free will and desire to have that experience. I don't want anything interacting with me if they don't want to. I want, because that's kind of seems to be a problem in the area that we live in, that there's an issue with things not being sovereign around here, and I want that to apply to anything exterior as well. So regardless of, doesn't matter whether it's a human being or not, it's gotta go both ways.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've discovered is missing time is a stasis field. That's non-mass, non-time, non-locality. So there are these natural fields on Earth that give us missing time. So I'm doing a lot of research into stasis fields and how to generate them using what I call free energy. Well, I don't know what to call it, but you don't have to plug these things in. And these devices I'm building have no moving parts, so it's almost like building something out of nature and just taking it and using it. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm also working on different protocols for different situations because I've noticed different variables for different things. So yeah, I've been having some fun doing my protocols, but at the moment I must admit the weather
sucks.
It's total shit.
Yeah.
It sucks. It really does suck. I mean, we had snow the other day, and I posted up how I thought that I was like, ho 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 ho, all my motherfucking hoes. Looks like God come on the pavement.
I play your Strange Encounters playlist. There we go.
Hey, one thing I wanted to get out there, is everything that's put on my channel and FC's channels. I don't know about UFC, but for me, it's just research.
Yeah, it's research, and it's part of my journey too. It's a research, and it's a way of documenting my journey, and what I find to be the more important things that you can kind of run across. Some of it's and like I did a couple things like analyzing an interview with Frank Zappa recently, and then a thing on a TED Talks.
I've heard of Frank Zappa. Who is he?
He's a guitar player, composer, incredibly talented. But the point of the conversation was to show that the system has these people embedded into it that are allowed to speak massive truths. And that interview, and there's many other interviews with Zappa where he just unloads tons of truths that otherwise would never be spoke of. So it's really nice and refreshing to have that. But you also realize, he's doing his thing because the system is allowing him to. So.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say quickly about CE5 is, if it was really as dangerous as Steve Greer said it is, the intelligence service, they wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah, they would have never let him talk about it, yeah.
Exactly. So if it was really this big giant threat and it was this, that, all CE5 is it's taken from Buddhism. Yeah? So See, Steve Greer was a meditation teacher, and if anyone's ever watched Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, Steve Greer's new movie, in his movie he said, I got ridiculed for doing CE5. Now, if it was about contact, why would he say something like that? It's never been. It's always been about the 1%. Yeah. Even if the 1% came together, that's eight. I think it's 8 million or 800 million. I don't know how many people on Earth I see. You got any ideas?
I don't remember the last number, to be honest. I don't recall.
Oh, yeah, it's quite a lot. Let's say it's 8 million people need to do it. He says if we do it once, that's all we need. That's complete bollocks. You'd have to do it again and again and again and again and again. And that's why he keeps saying, yeah, buy this and do this and do. For meditation to work, you have to keep practicing it, yeah? But the thing is, I just don't see the timeline. I really don't. I use remote viewing myself, and I can go forward into a point and place in time where there is no one on Earth. And that's what bothers me. I mean, if we think about in science, the Earth is going to get swallowed up by the sun when it goes red dwarf. So we have to leave the planet. If anything, we need to leave this whole freaking universe behind, because it just seems like there's a few people in control of everything, and it's just getting out of control. And it's channels like myself and channels like FC that are trying to blaze a trail to the truth. But the point is, we can't tell the full truth, because if we do, our channels will just go bye-bye. Oh, yeah, this is DM protocols. This is amazing, this is. I remember this. I'll get this. I asked for a sign, and this thing comes flying past.
Yeah, it's you got some great footage, man. Really good work.
This one here is one of these ones where I'm like, could someone please explain to me what is that? It ain't got wings. It's nuts, and the way it moves around. There's footage like this from Mexico where they say they're called E-buttons, and they're like these. Have you ever seen that thing called rods, FC?
Which one?
It's called rods.
The rods, yeah, I've seen some of those, yeah. There's a few of those out there.
Yeah, but you see, this is the weird thing. Them rods only seem to exist in like exotic countries, because I'll tell you what, I've tried doing that filming rods thing here. Nothing. It must have something to do with climate or location, something like that.
Yeah, man, it's great being able to catch up and talk, and it's cool, man. So what I'm gonna do is
just one thing I just want to say. I appreciate all the people subscribing. My first subscriber, Jono XL, if I quoted that wrong.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
I just want to say thanks to my subscribers. Thanks to FC for showing some more videos so other people get awareness that these things going on. These things are all around us. It just takes a little bit of meditation and consciousness to get into that field, to be able to film them as well.
Absolutely.
So everybody can be.
Yeah, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Yeah, and it's fun. It's so much fun. It's like there's, this place gets boring after a while. This is something different that most people don't even know exists, and we can interact with it, and it will blow your mind every time. It'll do different things a lot. Sometimes it'll repeat things it's done. I mean, you never know how it's going to pan out, but you're sure as hell going to have a fun-ass experience. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So I just want to finish on something real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to say love and light to each and every one. Thanks for doing this call. We'll have to have a little chat, a personal chat another day, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Dave. Thanks for calling in, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, mate. You do me a favour. You cancel the call on your end.
Yep.
Because
all right. Much love, brother. I'll see you soon. All right. So next up, I have we got, I think, Night Sky coming in. And I'm going to just give her a call right now and patch her in. Just be one moment. Excuse me. Okay, where is... Okay. see. Hey, there she is.
I have some echo. Hi.
You got an echo? Yeah, you might want to mute the video if you were watching the video. That
Yeah.
probably would help.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that can happen once in a while. Let's see. Let me try and get this changed up.
Got it. Okay.
All right. Great to see you.
Hey, you too.
Yeah.
Really, really great chat. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Yep. You sound great.
Okay,
Sounding perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm really interested in this topic that you've brought out tonight, and it definitely isn't one that I see covered. And you know, it, like you've mentioned, it really has an impact for people when they come into the new understandings of reality and the world, and you know, whether you have mental health issues or not, you know, just for anyone, it can turn your world upside down.
Yeah.
So I love that you've been advocating meditation and mindfulness, and there are some things that I wanted to add to that, which is like when you first come into this learning, or even like the different phases you go through it, right? Because you're always like learning, and the understanding is deepening like all the time with the reality of the world and what's going on. And so the mind works on a problem solution basis. So, and it can't solve these problems, you know, it can't work it out. You know, there are things that we'll never know, we'll never understand. And so it's really important to help the mind to calm in that, because otherwise the mind sends all of the responses to the body, like, right, quick, get ready, you know, and then the body tenses up, and then you have this loop, you know, where the body's anxious and the mind's anxious. And so, you know, the importance of the meditation, and like really, I think of meditation as relaxation, you know, because in its essence it is. And so that relaxation can really help the body to relax and to absorb and filter through the information in the body's own time. And the body is intelligent, right? It can take on what it's able to absorb. You know, we have to provide that kind of, make that space for the body to do that by taking care of ourselves, like you said.
Yeah, no, that was God. You wrapped it. You put it together perfectly. Yeah, I mean, it's a really, it can be a very tough journey for people. It was a tough journey for me. I don't think I've spoken to anyone who hasn't gone through some sort of emotional roller coaster when going down this road. I don't think it's possible not to. But sometimes it's more extreme in someone's life than others. So that was the importance of really bringing it out in the open and making sure that, you know, us as a small community that we are, is like that we got to look out for each other if we happen to see that, and know that there are people in our community who will definitely talk to you, but also make sure that you also have those resources that are in the description, as well as the phone numbers scrolling across the bottom of our screen today.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned about like reaching out and getting support, and this is like so important, because when we start talking to each other, we see that, oh, I'm not the only one to think that, or I'm not the only one to do that or respond that way. And you know, that takes us out of our like kind of feeling separate to others, you know, and so we can see, oh, you know, there's things that we are doing that's the same, and then it lessens those things. So like we can relax more, and also by talking about it, it helps other people because they can relate or find themselves in what we're saying as well.
Yeah, no, it's well said. And I really your first video that you put on your channel is incredible. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I just posted your channel in the chat for anyone who's just popping in. Check out the channel, and we also have your video playing in the background right now, just a visual of it. And I have the audio muted, and I just want to make sure, please go over and subscribe. Show us some love. She's doing some great work, and she's got a lot of stuff in the chamber ready to be released into the world.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. And you've been an inspiration for that and the work that you're putting out there. And this is how it works. You know, we inspire each other. And yeah, it's really great to be able to express in this way, because the things that I'm learning, like, they want to come through. And you know, and it's so important to find a creative outlet for stuff, so you can get it out of the mind, where it can just kind of, you know, be in a loop, you know, and just find a way to put it out there, whatever your expression is, whether it's singing or writing or art or, you know, talking about this stuff like you do.
Yeah, no, we gotta, you know, and I really think everyone out there who has, you know, gone down this journey, try and throw yourself out there a little bit. I think it's important that we all try to put out what we can, you know, and put parts of our journey, like what have you come across that you feel is really important that should be shared, because there's a lot of people out there who have tons of knowledge, and you never know how, by you putting the information out there in your own style about a certain topic, how that could be the one topic or the one video that inspires someone to go and further look into something, or find some sort of peace in their life, or understanding in their life, or anything. There's a number of different things, because everyone brings something different to the table, and everyone has their own style. So, you know, style and information combined, that they might impact someone differently versus my video or somebody else's video. It all depends on how you resonate with the information and the person presenting it too.
For sure, right? And you know, if you've been thinking about doing something like this, like, now is the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
like, the world is changing at a phenomenal pace, and, you know, don't put it off anymore. Like, do it now, and you know, reach out of your comfort zone, because that's where the growth is. That's where kind of you know, like, we can make connections that we couldn't have imagined before. When we put something of ourselves out there, it's like the, I don't know, universe or whatever, something responds. You know, this is the process of learning. And like you say, we learn through each other, and we make connections to each other, we support each other, and you know, and everything that we need to learn, like, my experience is everything I've needed to learn. It comes to me at the pace that I've needed. And sometimes, like, it's been so much that my head has just flipped for a few days, you know, but then I had support in that time as well, and it was okay. And I assimilated the things that I'd learned, and then, you know, you move on. So yeah, this is important. And it's also really important to acknowledge that, you know, the things that we learn as we come into the kind of learning more about the world and what's happening, is that, you know, there's also a process of healing within ourselves. So our traumas, our past stuff, these things can get really triggered when we start to see the world differently, you know, and our idea of safety or normality is just changed, you know, it's challenged. And so, you know, there's a lot that goes on in this process, and it's so important to be really, like, I feel, really gentle with ourselves in it, and, if there's a lot of information at once, or if anything gets overwhelming, just to pull back, take a break, stop researching, stop reading about this stuff. Something easy on YouTube, and find out what are your points before you get overwhelmed, so you can just go ease into this.
Yeah, that's so important. So important. It's can't stress that enough. I mean, if you're getting overwhelmed, or if things are just too much, step away, shut it off, go. If you can't, take a break for a few days, a week, a month, whatever. I was telling you, I took multiple weeks off last year. Where I didn't publish anything. I took a period, like almost a month, a month twice, and I just disconnected from everything, because sometimes it just, it's, you have regular life, and then you have all this other stuff you're learning, and it can be overwhelming, and we've got to take, we've got to do what's healthy for us, and that involves taking breaks. The information will always be there tomorrow, or the next week, or the next month, and you can always catch up with it and do what you need to do when you're ready. But yeah, it's very important to take breaks and make sure you recharge ourselves and be happy as much as we can and content.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And I think I mentioned this before, but like when we start learning about this stuff, or coming into deeper understandings of it, it's not like this. The world is the way the world is. It's always been that way. We just wasn't aware before, and so when we become aware, it's so much to process. But the thing to remember is that all that's changed is our perception of it, right?
Yes.
And that perception is something that we can really go easy with. You can reassure yourself, you can talk to yourself and say, okay, this is we just go slow with this, and tell yourself you're still safe, even, because that's triggered as well. And you find out, I won't go into too much details, but that you're being lied to left, right, and center, everywhere, everything. And so to find ways to reassure yourself, because it's a real transition to go through, and it's not something to underestimate either. And we, like you say, we need to be there for each other as well if someone else is reaching out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's important. That's important. I mean, because the information that we talk about and come to realize is stuff you can't, even if you're going through a dark night of the soul, or just depression, whatever it may be. It's hard to talk with necessarily a regular everyday friend or family member about those specific topics and how it relates to what's going on with you mentally. So I think it's really key that we all kind of be on the lookout, and all of anyone who's a creator, whatever, and any other channels, we all got to be on the lookout for those comments that, you can, if you can sense someone's depressed, upset, anxious, or, even as far as suicidal, it's, we really should just put a little comment in there. You have no idea how much that person would appreciate that, and that someone cares.
Yeah, that's really important. And for people that are going through that stuff, reach out, because it might be that your local, your support network isn't open to this information, and you can't share it within your friends, your family. So maybe branch out, take a chance, go on Discord and YouTube, and comment on YouTube videos that you resonate with, and and just reach out for people that are on the same page as you in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it perfectly. There's the sense of community is there, and everyone is, welcome to, share their journey. I'm also, I know we talked about this. I'm going to be setting up a new series where if anyone listening out there would like to come on the channel and kind of have it's more like it'd be like an interview / more like a open discussion about your journey. So I would like to set up that series where people can come on and just sit and tell us, their journey, how they got to where they are now, and what they learned, and what was really the catalyst for waking them up, or their spiritual advancement, and all that stuff. So that will be a new series. I'm not sure I'm going to name it yet, but kind of like Our Awakening or My Awakening, and or something like that. We'll try and figure out a title for it, but it'll be an ongoing series. So if anyone is interested in coming on and sharing their journey, just leave a comment on any of my videos, and I will send you out my contact information, and we can set something up in the future. So look, I am happy that you will be one of my first to join in and have that conversation. I'm looking forward to that when we get some time to do that, maybe in a few weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to it too, and I think it's a great idea. And just thanks again for putting this topic out there. And and it's been really nice to chat with you about it.
Yeah, and thank you also for we talked privately last night and early this morning, and I appreciate the suggestions you made to help add into this video. They were helpful, so thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And don't forget to go check out Night Sky's channel. Again, I'll pop it in the link here. And yeah, she is just getting started on YouTube, and she put out a banger of a first video. It's great. So let me just I'll show you her channel here and post this in here. And then also remember we had Dave Marley, who was here earlier. I'll pop a link into his channel again. But here's her channel, Night Sky. And I don't think she has anything in here yet, but yeah, like you can see, she got her first video. That was what I was playing in the background. And it is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell button. She'll be putting out some new stuff soon. And I know she's got a few things lined up, so that'd be great. So if anyone else would like to call in, you are more than welcome. I will, let's see, I've got Skype open. You could contact me through my Skype ID, Forever Conscious Research Channel, or you can dial the phone number at the top left of your screen, 979-272-4111. That's 979-272-4111. Probably take maybe one or two more phone calls if anyone's interested in calling, and then probably leave it at that. But yeah, so let me just see if anyone's in here. There might be. See if anyone's in the waiting room. Okay. Okay, look, no, that was Night Sky earlier, that's right. Okay. Alright, yeah, like I said, I'll probably give it like another 5 minutes, see if anyone else calls in, and otherwise we'll wrap it up. But I did want to, I don't know, I was going to make a separate announcement on this, which I will in a separate video. But for anyone listening, for a couple years I have considered, or I've really strong inkling to write a book. and I decided about a week or so ago that I'm finally going to do that. So I have already started working on it a little bit and gone through multiple outlines, and about to start the introduction. And it'd probably be a couple years to get this going, but it's a passion project that I feel I have to do. So I'm gonna do my best to get it done, and I hope that some of you I'll do some updates, and for anyone interested, and hopefully in a couple years I'll have a book out. It's really kind of an intimidating project for me because I grew up having dyslexia, and my grammar was never that good because I was so screwed up from the dyslexia, and but I've slowly through the years improved my writing style and worked within it as best I can. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to really put an effort in, and I hope that I'll be able to get something out. I'm hoping. So just thought I'd throw that out there just in case. But I will do a separate video kind of giving a little more detail on what's going on in relation to that. So not sure of the book title yet, but I will keep you guys up to date. Just as a reminder, if you're new here, welcome first off. Second is if you've not already subscribed here, hit the subscription and hit the bell. A like would be great. Apparently it helps with the algorithm, so anyone can throw a like up there if you found this video valuable. That would be excellent. And I do have 2 backup channels. They are in my description as well as in the about section of the channel. And it's Forever Conscious Research channel number 2 and 3. And please hit subscribe and bell on both of those. Those are precautionary measures that I took because of everything that I've been seeing going on. And now, ever since Biden got in it, they've ramped it up even more. I mean, they're really putting some... they're scaring, someone like me who has a channel like this. So it would be great if you don't mind heading on over there and hitting subscribe and bell. And I also have, which I mentioned earlier, is UGETube. That's UGETube.com, and my channel's over there, the same thing. Forever Conscious Research channel, and that is in the about section of the channel as well, and in the description. And I also have a Twitter for anyone who's on Twitter. I'm not hugely active on there, but again, it's a good way for us to stay in touch with one another, just in case the shoe may drop on in here, which it's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow it to happen. I am very careful with how I handle myself here, and I've been watching long enough to kind of have a sense as to how to handle it. So my hope is that everything will be fine, and it will be nothing I even have to concern myself with. But yeah, so yeah, I just thought I would mention that. And I'll just come, I'm going to go check the chat, because there was a lot of chat that I didn't get to because we had the phone calls. So let me just swing up here and see what I got. I'm also just going to throw out Dave Marley's channel one more time while I'm scrolling through the comment. Please check out Dave's channel by going here. Oh, stop. There's Dave's channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, head on over. He does orb and directed meditation summoning of various sky anomalies, and whatever we think they may be, interdimensional entities or what have you. So really cool stuff. So what I'll do is I'll probably play one of his other playlists while I'm going through the through the chat. So just check in with you guys. I'm really happy that everyone's here. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear everything out here today. The interviews with Dave and Night Sky will probably, I might cut them and re-release them as their own videos. So they're kind of, they have their own talking point, or maybe combine Dave and Night Sky together, so in one separate video. So then we could kind of leave the mental health one separate, but it doesn't really matter. It's great that we had both them call in and share their wisdom and knowledge, and just two beautiful people. I love them dearly. Okay, let's see. I think I got. Okay, I've gone. Okay, here's Okay, Night Sky says, sitting meditation is hard. I always aspire to sit a couple of hours a day, but end up with 30. Yeah, that's about where I'm at. About 30 minutes. I used to be a power meditator, so to say. I did it up to 3-4 times a day at some point, and sometimes hour, even 2-hour sessions at times. But then I was like, well, that's just too much. But I was, going gung-ho at the time. I was considering possibly becoming a Zen Buddhist monk. I mean, it was just a very different period in my life, but it was a lot of fun, and I even did that after the monastery stint for a while. It was fun, but it's a little much after a while. Okay, and Darkened Wanderer says, be at one with everything and calm your breath. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Disintegral says, I definitely find affirmations make a difference, almost as if the statements are magical spells. Yes. Well, I mean, basically what we're doing with affirmation is we're wiring and programming ourselves, just like they do with the mind control techniques on TV and all the other, media and all that stuff. It's the same kind of concept, except we're doing it to better ourselves and feel better. And it's just, they're so helpful. Really, brothers and sisters, try and stick with meditation. Affirmations and a mindfulness alarm bell every 30-45 minutes every day, and you will definitely get results in a very positive way. And even if you're, not really having, any sort of mental health type thing, it's really great just to do in your life anyway. So I hope you come away thinking about this. So Dave Marley says, I love meditation. Yeah, Dave is a power meditator. He's always out meditating. Let's see. And Darkened Wander says, slowly is key. Then let go of breath slowly, then focus inward. Yep. Right on, brother. Or sister. Sorry. Dave Marley, afternoon from the UK. And namaste, brothers and sisters of Earth. Conscious Light Sword says, I've gotten so used to being alone. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm repeating this one. I've gotten so used to being alone the last 6-7 years that sit-down meditation has become my resting state. Laugh out loud. It took me a while, but I learned to love being alone. Most of the time. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't say that one. I thought I did. I was thinking of the other comment. Good one. I like that. Conscious Light Swords. Let's see. And Darkened Wander says, sipping wine and meditating is the best. Dave Marley, hi. Okay, sorry. That's just someone saying hi. 13th Monkey, totally understand in regards to the medical laws. And Darkened Wanderer, alcohol releases the subconscious, limiting. Conscious Light Sword says, nature is our God, my God at least. Nature, God, doesn't judge you. It accepts you. I know why the way you are, and it doesn't hold anything against you for being the way you are. Namaste. Yeah, nature. So that's the best part of living here is nature outside. It's awesome. It is my happy place. I love hiking. I love embracing it for everything that it is. It's beautiful. Excuse me. Let's see. Hey, Anthony Wall. Good to see you. Hope you've been well, brother. Brad Z says, can I eat a sandwich during this? Sure, why not? Go for it. Let's see. A conscious light source. Think of meditation as your body being the mediator, host, between you and God. The body divides you from God. Your body is in between, in the middle, you and God. Meditate equal mediate. Middle equal medium. Nice breakdown there. I like that a lot. That was nice. Conscious light source. I've noticed that I only see, quote, UFOs, unquote, when my when my consciousness is in a higher state. When I am blissful and happy and in tune with God, they appear. When I am not, it is as if they don't exist. Okay. Right on. So yours is more based with that. I think for me it's more prone. I mean, I walk outside and I see these things. Literally every time I walk outside, I see something weird. It's almost like they're waiting for me, or, you know, I mean, but I'm also thinking about them a lot. So I'm sure that has a factor in it too, not just the meditation part, or even just everyday part of my life as I walk outside, and I'm just, everything is always on my mind, because it's like I always see them. So it's wild. Conscious Light Source says, your word is your law. Write your own law. Right on. Yep, that's about writing our scripts, right? We got to write our scripts to make sure that we're not allowing that negativity into our lives, especially when we're dealing with matrix or earth realm or interdimensional type beings, and inviting them to have an experience with us. It got to be very specific in your script, and it's, you know, leaving no room for negotiation. And it again, like I think I mentioned this before. Actually, I know I've mentioned this before. A few years back, when I was first starting to film some of this stuff and getting involved with it, I didn't really have that detailed of a script like I do now. So I did have about a handful of negative, you could call them negative experiences. And it really wasn't like, it's not like anything was attacking me or this and that, but I was basically being warned, which was weird. Like, basically, stop doing it, get out of there. Stop, what are you doing? And so that's what I would do. I would go out of there. And, you know, like I said, I had about a handful of them over the course of, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And so I said, screw it. Let me just, you know, rewrite my script. And I swear I've never had a problem since. It's been awesome. I mean, and that's you know, over 2 years now, I think. 2, 3 years. 2 years. 2 years, sorry. Excuse me. Michael Scoville says, the dancer in the dark. Yes. Absolutely. Dave says, thanks for the interview, FC. Yeah, brother. Always great to have you. Always great to have you. I'm happy you called in. I miss you, brother. Conscious Light Source. Creator has given us the gift of being able to rationalize and have logic to be able to search things out and problem solve. But being intuitive and exercising faith is just as precious and important. Love that. Love that. That is great. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. I love it. And just so you know, if you guys want to call in, again, the phone number is at the top left, 979-272-4111. That number is 979-272-4111, or call me directly on Skype by searching my name, Forever Conscious Research Channel. Mr. Willie, great to have you, brother. Master Willie of the House of Boink. Great to see you, man. I'm happy you're here. Okay. Dave, I guess you're taking off. Yep, nice having you with us, brother. Have a good rest of your evening. Let's see. Master Willie, I fell asleep after dinner as the old man I am is supposed to behave. That's priceless. Conscious Light Source says, it seems new agey to say, but finding your way to stay positive and happy is extremely important to fighting negative forces. Have a positive vibration. They want us to be negative and hateful. Say no. Yes, I mean, you nailed it. I mean, we that's the thing. It's like, even though some of that stuff is like new agey concepts, the difference between the new age that is like parasitic and disgusting is the way they take advantage of people, the way they hijack and basically steal money from these people, from people like us who would go there. I mean, it didn't happen to me, but I know plenty of people that, they would, pay for like consulting and counseling and DNA activation codes, and all this, a channeling experience with connecting with the Palladians or the Polarians, or all that freaking horseshit. It's endless. All the stupid, endless prophecies that never come true. Ashtar command, and I mean, it's just, the list is endless. And yes, part of the New Age movement is good in a sense that it can help one become happier and more content in life, because it does throw the meditation factor in. But there's a lot of bad stuff with it too. And it's also, I mean, it takes kind of like, I guess, your critical thinking away. It takes away being honest with yourself about what the human experience is, what this place is all about. If everything is love and light, love and light, love and light, and you're just deciding to, okay, none of that other stuff exists here, and not being able to analyze it and just admit it, it doesn't mean revel in it. It just means that you're not being authentic if you're going through life with all the new age mumbo jumbo concepts all the time. But at its core, I will repeat again, because it was a great comment. I think, of course, I lost it. I'm sorry, guys. But basically, it goes to oh man, I'm sorry. I wanna repeat it because it was such a great comment. Anyways, it was basically like, it seems new agey to say, but finding ways to stay positive and happy is extremely important to fighting negative forces. Have a positive vibration. They want us to be negative and hateful. Say no. Yeah. Do not allow these parasites to win, because they are out there. There are mind parasites. There's all sorts of different things that are invisible or partly invisible in the earth realm that is feeding off of the negative vibration or negative energy that is emitted by people. So we've got to stand up against that. And knowing that it exists is very important. So if you know it exists, then you can make things so much smoother in your life as a result of it. Let's see. Master Willie, if I was feeling better, I'd call, but you'll have to do with the rain check for now. No worries, brother. Anytime. You can call in whenever you're feeling up to it. No pressure at all. I hope you feel a little better today, brother. I hope find a little bit of relief. Conscious Light Source. So true about the children. They are sheep without a shepherd, and it is not their own fault. The children are the light of the world and must be protected. They have the chi inside them. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's really sad that the what's going on in the children right now. It's unfortunate. It's imagine growing up in this situation with the whole stupid mask thing, and they're not able to go to school and have their personal relationships and friendships. I mean, that is so important as a kid, to be able to have friends and hang out with one another. And taking away the social aspect. Everything's online. Ugh. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. I mean, and then you have the parents sometimes forcing these kids to wear the stupid mask, while they're, while they're, going out or whatever. I mean, it's just the whole thing there's so much wrong with it. Willie says, I wish there was a way to reach out to them without being looked at as a weirdo or worse, as nowadays it's dangerous to care about someone else's children, sadly enough. Yeah, that's true too. But I mean, the thing is if you got the parent brainwashed on all these things, it's not going to do anything, right? TYU says, oh, hi, welcome. FC, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind comment. Okay. TYU says, I can't meditate, always fall asleep. No worries about the typos. Anthony Wall, here again, brother. Willie says, I learn more from my mistakes than I ever learned from books. Yeah, you know what? Me too. You have to have the life experience and go back and re-review those mistakes, and look at them, and then you're kind of like fine-tuning yourself as you get older too, right? Willie says, alcohol comes from the Arabic al-kul, meaning body-eating spirit. Yeah. I didn't know about the specific Arabic relation to it, but I knew they were called spirits for a reason, and because look at the way some people act when they're drunk. They sometimes say things that they might not have otherwise said. So really interesting. I don't know how the heck this happened. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is Dave's thing. Anyways, let me continue here. Willie says, etymology is key to understand this real... yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that. Let me pop this website up because it's a really good site that I use all the time. It's etymologyonline.com. There are some other ones too. But yeah, you should always have this bookmarked and making good use of it. It is a wonderful tool and highly helpful. Okay. Mea culpa. Okay, it's a private conversation between you guys. Willie says thanks. One of these for sure. Okay. All right. I think TYU, my orbs are gone. FC. Oh, really? If you leave, if you want, feel free to leave. If you have anything on your channel about them, if I recall, just after the video, just pop a comment in the comments section, not in the live chat, and then people will be able to find you that way. Take a look at them. All right, so I think this is going to wrap it up. It's been kind of a long one, but I've really had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys today. It was a lot of fun. So please, if you're having mental health issues, make sure that you check the description for all the suicide hotlines, suicide assistant hotlines, and then obviously call your local emergency service like 911 in the States. Also, that's, of course, if you're not in that extreme headspace, then make an appointment with a doctor or your current doctor and try and get a referral to a psychiatrist or a therapist, psychology, and try and get in there. You know, try and do what you need to do. And remember, there is a community here. If you're having some issues, feel free to leave a comment, and we are going to be more aware of our community and try and help one another. We can only do so much, but remember, there are people here that care about everyone. You know, we all care about each other on a deep level. So even if we haven't spoke before, we're here and want to help in any way we can, whether small or big, and try and apply those small things that I had mentioned in the video, the affirmations, the mindfulness alarm every day, all day until you go to sleep, and then mindfulness walking too, you know, the taking your breaths and walking and very slowly as you're breathing. And then hopefully for anyone who has trouble with regular meditation, those 3 things should help not only your mental health, but help lead you into sit-down meditation if you're having issues with that. So this is going to wrap it up. I will do a closeout screen, which I usually don't do that often. So I'll have the chat open. So if we want, we can talk in the text chat together and for about 5 minutes. But this portion of me talking and all that stuff, we're going to close that out. So I appreciate everyone who's come today, and it's been a lot of fun. So feel free to continue talking amongst yourselves. I'll join in there too, and we will see each other soon. Let me just, where the heck did my screen go? There we go. Alright, so, yeah, okay. Oh wow, this one's old. I forgot about this one. Okay. Alright, so, thank you very much, brothers and sisters, and I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. Actually, you know what I'll do? Yeah, okay, there we go. Thanks again, everyone. Have a blessed day.